Hi, hello, and what's up, guys? I'm Jex-the-NoteBook-Guy, and boy, I got a nice idea. It'd probably be, well, right now I'm looking at tutorials on the basics of programming, so then I can learn how to use an engine, because the guy said to follow their programming basics if you have no experience whatsoever. And once I learn that engine, I need to figure out something that's not too complicated and would be worthwhile to work on, and so this is what the goal is going to be. I know I like tower defense and whatnot, and my original idea was going to be tower defense, but if I want tower defense, something like that, the better option would obviously be Fortnite when it goes free. But anyways, without further ado, this concept I believe would be unique. The genre is arcade. There isn't a whole lot of stuff, but I'm just going to talk about the basics of the concept. So here we go. I don't know any name for it yet. So what it is you start off on a square and whatnot, and enemies will randomly decide to spawn either this direction, this direction, this direction, or this direction. But keep in mind that they will spawn within 5 units. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Or should I make it 4? If I make it 5, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. No, okay, I'll do 5. So it spawns within 5 units. So an enemy will show up. Oops, camera's not on. So an enemy will show up here, and then after so many seconds they'll move, boom, and then they'll move, boom, and then they'll move, boom, and then they'll move, boom. And then once they move here, they destroy whatever tile, floor, whatever you're going to call it. Let's just call it a tile. So they'll destroy a tile. And if this center tile gets destroyed, you lose the game. Actually, I don't know if it should be the center tile. Yeah, it should be the center tile. So the center tile gets destroyed, you lose the game. So it should be more like something fancy, I guess. Put this stupid design on it. Okay, something fancy. Alright. If you survive the first level and whatnot, then you're the circle, by the way. Then you will expand like this, and then you'll be able to move to here, to here, to here, and here. So you could go boom, boom, boom. And now the enemies are going to spawn that way, 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 and that way. I believe I covered them all. And so you have to fate them like that and stuff like that. However, as soon as you get this, then you have the option to turn these into splitters. Inspired by that neon puzzle game where you have a beam that shoots out and can go into, looking at the screen right now, go into this splitter. Okay, I gotta stop looking at the screen. Splitter things. When the beam goes through, it'll shoot out this way and that way for puzzle solving and blah blah blah. Well, it's using that kind of concept. So if you were to put like a splitter like this, if you were to stand on here, then you would, if you were to fire this way, you would fire that way and that way. I don't know what happens if you would fire. No, if you would fire this way, nothing would happen. But if you were to fire that way, then it would also fire away this way. However, the damage you deal will be halved. So you deal half damage and you'll deal half damage. If you have it so that the splitter is on 3 of them, then if you were to take 100% damage, it would be 100% minus 25 for each, so it would be, 75% if you had 1 splitter. So basically a splitter means that, actually no, I think if you shoot out it wouldn't, yeah, okay. So try doing a splitter again. So with no splitter, you're going to be doing 100% damage, but let's say you were on a splitter that goes this way, That means anywhere you shoot, if you shoot here, you will deal 75% damage, and this will always deal 25% damage. However, if you were to shoot in the direction of this, it would then be 100% plus 25%. So it would be 125%. And it would always be at least 125% depending on which way you're shooting. Yeah, that kind of concept. But yeah, that was a bit too complicated. I'll get to that later at some point, I guess. But for now, the concept works where, because you have to have a way to lose the game, right? So if you beat level 1, you unlock it goes into this kind of triangle format, and if you would unlock the next level, it would go and fill up here. So it's practically like the same directions, I think, but the difference is now the enemies are going to be harder, but you also have more room, so that's good to know. You also, you can make more different of those little combinations for a whole customization of how you want to fight. Do you want to fight where, different kinds of strategies you could come up with depending on how you place those. It also will hurt you because you deal less, yada yada yada. Anyway, so if an enemy were to hit this tile, it would disappear. But when this tile disappears, it prevents any other tile from adding over here and from adding over here. So what this means is that, let's say it becomes an X, if you were to survive the way round, the next one would normally be like this, and you'd be able to get that. However, the next one would normally be this. But the problem with this is now you have none of this and none of this. So the more tiles you lose, the weaker, the less amount of space you're going to have for room. Enemies will still, of course, go in the direction as long as they have if there's a free tile. So that's the whole idea. It's basically a arcade shooter action thingamajig. Well, that's it. So this is Jex-the-NoteBook-Guy saying I'll see you guys later. Bye.